We're going to play a game. This is called, Hey, do you know your schedule? I'm going to list a date, and then you have to guess where you're playing on that date.
Pour molten gold into my broken teacup, so I can't hide it if I try.
PODSWAP.
PODSWAP.
That's right, we had a PODSWAP
PODSWAP.
with Rough Draft Hattiesburg.
PODSWAP. Rough Draft Hattiesburg.
So we had this PODSWAP. It was pretty cool.
PODSWAP.
Yeah. That's what we did.
The Hardy Street Boys, the Hardy Street Boys, the Hardy Street Boys, the Hardy Street Boys. They're the Hardy Street Boys. Hardy Street Boys. They're the Hardy Street Boys.
Hardy Street Boys.
Hardy Street Boys. Hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
This episode is brought to you by Community Bank.
Community Bank.
We're huge Community Bank guys.
Everyone knows it.
And that's as far as we're going to take it. You just need to trust that we're Community Bank guys.
Yeah, Community Bank. They're member FDIC. They got all the qualifications. They'd love for you to start a bank account. We'd love for you to start a bank account. Community Bank.
Oh, is that in the script?
I don't know.
We want to remind you to like, subscribe, share. It takes just an email address and a few minutes of your time, totally free. You can check us out on Patreon as well, monthly subscription website. Help support us and keep the show going. Check out our website. We are going to update with new merch, we promise. But, it's just a two-man team. We can only do so much. Just thank you for the support. It's great.
Yes, thank you so much.
So how you doing, man? I'm so sweaty right now.
Bro, it's like 100 degrees out there.
Well, our air is on the fritz, and yeah. So we're gonna power through, but
yeah, I'm melting.
Yeah. So what's been up, man? You've been gigging?
A little bit. I've actually got a gig coming up tomorrow night at the Thirsty Hippo. I'm playing over there. But other than that, I've just been trying to stay cool.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, I actually went up to Jackson this past weekend for a tennis tournament. It was the state championship. The team had fun. It was a great time in Jackson. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of super regional weekend. But I got to commend the Golden Eagles on a great season. It was an amazing thing to watch. They won regionals in a dramatic fashion, and just to get to a supers is pretty amazing. So to the top, go Eagles! Way to go, great season.
Yeah, it was. I don't keep up with baseball enough, but I do think I'm gonna probably get season tickets next year just to support the Golden Eagles. I saw John Smith, who actually called it.
Oh, yeah.
I interviewed him for a school thing with Sacred Heart. His son goes to Sacred Heart, and he called that the Southern Miss was going to really make a run this year. And it's pretty awesome that, seeing people who have supported that team for so many years and then get to enjoy a super regional like that.
Yeah, first time to ever host a super regional. It's quite a big deal. Of course, we faced Ole Miss. They brought their fan base down here. So it was just a tough one. And like you said, maybe next year we can make another run. It'd be awesome. The Eagles baseball program is always pretty tough. So let's do it again next year.
Yeah, man, it was awesome.
Shout out to Coach Barry. Good stuff, man.
Dude, he's such an awesome guy.
Really?
I love when good things happen for good people. He's an awesome guy and approachable and humble and just a great guy. So it's cool to watch that on national television. Happening, and great for the city of Hattiesburg. Great for people that visit Hburg. It's stressful, but it's also it's a good problem to have, trying to find hotel rooms for everybody, and there's all kinds of work behind the scenes.
It's interesting to think about why you say we don't know if we're going to host. We don't know. It's all kind of up in the air. But like Marlo says, it's kind of crazy how sometimes the chips fall in their place. Hey, we hosted a super regional, quite amazing.
And huge. It's something like I think Allison was saying between regional and super regional is like a $25 million boost to the city of Hattiesburg.
Really?
Yeah, it's no joke. It's one of those people say that it's great for the town, whatever, but then you hear an actual number like that, $25 million.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's really great. So, Festival South's going on. I actually got to see Artie in the alley.
Yeah.
Sydney McGee, dance teacher, was there. Saw Harlan Mapp. Saw Artie with his gelled hair. Artie looks good, man. He's been working out. He's been he's got hair gel. He's got
a whole new look.
Right, but it's like, how is Artie still single? Dude's crushing it. Yeah, it was cool to see all that going on in the Pocket Museum. And went and ate actually had a Philly cheesesteak bagel at Southbound.
Southbound Bagel Shop.
I don't go there enough.
Oh man, I love the bagel shop. You know it.
I know you're a bagel boy. You're a big time bagel boy.
They got the good sweet potato hash over there. They do good omelets and of course the bagels, man. I'm a big Asiago bagel guy.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows it. Yeah, just like your Brussels sprouts.
They know it.
Do you fight people over your bagel preference like you do with Brussels sprouts?
Not really.
Because I've seen you absolutely throw down. Someone said, you don't like Brussels sprouts, and you said, what? I mean, it was. I've never seen you that aggressive. It was actually borderline psycho. Like, it was out of character.
Yeah, just you talking about it right now is making me feel bad. I'm having flashbacks, and we should probably, I don't know.
Let's move on. Sorry. Well, I'm sorry. We'll move on. But just so you know, Jamie loves Brussels sprouts, especially those ones at SoPro that Chef Nofke puts together.
Oh, yeah.
So Festival South's been going on. There's so many events. We actually have the link in our description if you want to check out what's going on. The things I'm really excited about, there's like a Juneteenth celebration with various artists singing works by black composers or just composers that, as the description says, have been accepted by the culture. So I really am excited about something like that where I would not typically be aware of something like that going on. So I want to see that. There's actually Artie's doing percussion sounds coming up. I think that's June 18th. But there's a ton of stuff going on.
There's a beer festival coming up.
Let's get to that.
Yeah?
Because that's now Downtown Brews and Bites, right?
No, it's going to be the Craft Beer Festival again.
It's Craft Beer Festival again.
They're going to do it at Town Square on Saturday.
Okay, so if you don't know about the Craft Beer Festival, it is literal beer fest.
Yeah, you better get your tickets.
It gets nuts.
Oh, yeah.
It gets nuts. Yeah, well, you can get tickets, actually, link in the description below for tickets.
Yeah, this year it's coming back to Town Square Park. It's going to be a great time. I think Lana Wakeland Band is the entertainment from 6 till 9. There are some VIP tickets if you want to get there early. I think there's going to be some food available for VIPs. But Beer Fest, so much fun.
Yeah. That's and we'll be sweating during that too.
Oh yeah.
But luckily there'll be beer.
Yeah.
Unlike right now.
Beer's outside.
I love beers outside.
I know you do.
You do?
Yeah.
Have I maybe made it too obvious?
No.
I like beers.
Not obvious enough.
Just yell at a bunch of people through microphones. Yeah. But yeah, that's so much fun. It's always a good time. And I don't know, man. It's something about Town Square Park because of Live at 5. I have such a good positive association with that place. So anytime something's going on there, it's definitely worth checking out. So Beer Fest, that's Saturday. So you still have time to get your tickets, but yeah, come hang out with us. We might be doing a little bit of filming down there too.
Hey-o.
So yeah, it'd be worth a gander.
Yeah.
So but yeah, man, that's been pretty much it. I've really been keeping up with Southern States Soccer. I'm doing media for them, which is a lot of fun.
Again, you're a sports reporter now.
Yeah,
You're doing post-game and pre-game interviews.
I don't want to be a journalist. I would.
But I think this whole, when you're in media, you're kind of like in the journalism. I mean,
I guess, yeah.
Kind of.
It's new media,
you're putting something out there.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right.
You're posing questions.
I get to be curious, which is one of my favorite things. And then soccer, the team is legit. They won 2-0 against Tallahassee. It was gritty. It wasn't the best team performance, but they still got the win, which excites me because champions, they win even when it's ugly.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like...
They're so talented.
They're really talented, incredibly athletic, man. The team this year is like just super athletic and just gifted, So that's exciting. It's an exciting thing to be around. And I know people were real, excited and then kind of bummed about baseball being over. But man, get into some soccer. Like, check out the games. The VIP suite is
Go see the
worth
facility.
it.
Yeah,
Bro,
amazing.
Dude, Chef Katie Dixon just catering basically a private event at a soccer game with a balcony where you can watch the game and eat like super healthy, like gourmet food. Like, what are you doing?
It's fun.
Like, that sounds amazing.
I was actually explaining to my friends in Jackson about Southern States and their facility. I was I'm sure Jackson has, I don't know if they have anything. Back in the day, there might have been a club team that I went and watched play as a kid, but no. Like I was like telling them, you've got to see this facility. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's not a facility like that in the state, maybe even the region. And you can tell because all the teams, when they come and play, everybody's got their phones out. Like, look at this. The pitch looks like a putting green. It's insane.
Yeah.
So it's a hidden gem out west, right across from the Oak Grove Library. Mm-hmm. But it's totally worth the trip out there if you're a downtowner or a midtowner. And if you live out west, you're right there. Just go. So it's super fun.
The Oaks.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most. What I'm also looking forward to is us maybe taking the show, not necessarily on the road. We will do that. But we are in talks, and I think we can talk about it now. We are in talks with Nelson Haskins.
Yeah.
Nelson Haskins for doing the Hardy Street Boys Live.
Hardy Street Boys Live.
At Hattiesburgers and Blues.
From Hattiesburgers and Blues.
And so we're trying to finalize a date right now, but I want to put it out there because we're curious, would you come and see us live?
Yes.
Actually, if we film the episode instead of filming in the studio, one week we might just go and film at Hattiesburgers and Blues and have a live audience. And
yeah, we'd love to have anyone show up and enjoy. There'd be, of course, live music. There'd be us doing this, but also some live performances as well as a great venue, great space.
And then the game would be audience participation. We would probably have more than one guest too, more like a Tonight Show feel, where it would just be. I mean, I think it'd be wild to do that. But honestly, I want to put it out there first instead of being so secretive about everything.
Hardy Street Boys Live.
Don't say don't. Like, no. Would you actually come to Hattiesburgers and Blues and watch us live? And several guests and a musical guest. So let us know in the comments. And by people who comment, thank you, Drew Massengale and Ty Sullivan.
Yes.
And sometimes Jesse Vassar.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all. But, man, so today we have Holley Rumbarger.
Holley Rumbarger.
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 Yeah. You can pronounce it literally any way you want. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's seriously, it's Rumbarger. But
Rumbarger.
She, local singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Doing her thing.
Just a talented artist.
Doing music. We were just on the podcast that she runs with James Polk, Rough Draft Hattiesburg.
Rough Draft Hattiesburg.
And it was really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I was like, I didn't know how I'd feel because we're normally, we're so in this.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we'd be good guests, but we were great guests.
I didn't sound nervous, did I?
I mean, no.
I mean, like when they're like, "Hey, yeah," I don't.
No,
like I'm being interviewed. I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna okay, Drew, take it away."
Yeah. I didn't sound bullish, did I? Just
No.
know yourself. It's fine. It's okay.
It was awesome.
But it was super awesome. So we're going to have her on, and then we actually going to have her perform later. She's also our musical guest. So after this, Holley Rumbarger.
Holley Rumbarger, Holley Rumbarger. She brought her phone charger. Holley Rumbarger. She's on the show. She's on the Hardy Street Boys. This ain't Rough Draft. These on the Hardy Street Boys. This week, Holley Rumbarger. With the EY, Holley with the EY, Holley, got that guitar, got that mandolin, Holley with the EY, look her up on Instagram, she got the EY, don't need to know why, she got the EY, don't be a wise guy, she got the EY, Holley, yeah. Ooh.
Wow, thank you, Jamie. That was like a spiritual experience we all got to share. If you didn't know, this is Holley with an EY. Holley Rumbarger, how are you today?
Great.
Great.
Yeah, happy to be here.
This is exciting because this is part of our epic PODSWAP.
PODSWAP.
That's right, we had a PODSWAP
PODSWAP.
with Rough Draft Hattiesburg.
PODSWAP. Rough Draft Hattiesburg.
So we had this PODSWAP. It was pretty cool.
PODSWAP.
Yeah. That's what we did. So we had the pod swap.
PODSWAP.
I should probably stop saying pod swap.
PODSWAP.
We were on your podcast, Rough Draft Hattiesburg, recently.
Rough Draft Hattiesburg.
And I can't even pretend to be mad. That's hilarious. So we were on your show with James Polk. That was really fun. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and I guess now the tides have turned.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm in the hot seat now.
Mm-hmm. Literally, because our AC's out.
Yeah.
Gosh, it is. Yeah, and we're not trying to keep that a secret. Please help us. If you know how to fix an air conditioning unit, please give us your phone number in the comments, and we'll call you at the most inconvenient time for you, and you could help us for like little to no money. So, Holley, you're a musician, right? You're a solo musician, but also part of some groups. I want to find out how you got into music and what you're working on right now.
Okay, so yeah, I do solo music mostly, but I'm a part of Coal Hill Band. And I'm a part of Hub City Sound Machine, and most recently, my own personal band project, Holley Rumbarger and the New Relics, which we had our first show last night at Keg and Barrel. It was also hot. So yeah, I've always been interested in music ever since I was a little kid, but I kind of attribute my love for Americana, folk, and country music to riding around in my mom's super old patina 1980-something Jeep Grand Cherokee. She had a couple CDs in the car. You know, when we didn't have phones or anything, so, you know, if you wanted to listen to what you wanted to, you had to have it in a CD. So, of course, some of you kids may not know about that those days. But
yeah, CDs on the visor.
Yeah,
to, like,
exactly.
You almost crashed. Do you think texting and driving is dangerous? Try changing your CD off the visor of your, yeah.
Exactly. But she had Alison Krauss. She had Hootie and the Blowfish. I think that was just about it. But Alison Krauss was a huge inspiration for me. So growing up, I was always a singer. I was in, show choir.
Mm-hmm. Jazz hands. Do jazz hands. Yeah. That's
but
pro.
I was in show choir and was always interested in music, but never really got into instrumentalism. Played the flute when I was 12 for a minute, but marching band was also hot. I think I'm not a fan of being super hot. but no, I sang for a couple bands when I lived in Starkville, but I moved here 3 years ago and kind of set out to do it on my own. So I picked up the mandolin, and if you ask me why the mandolin, I'll tell you I have no idea. I was just kind of inspired by it at one point, and just, this is such a cute little twinkly instrument, I'm going to do it. So learned how to play mandolin, played mandolin for a while, and then most recently learned how to play guitar like a year ago.
Really?
So, yeah, and it's been a fun journey. I love learning new things. I'm a perpetual student. So, learned a little bit of guitar. Still have a long way to go, but, there's been some progress there. I'm a songwriter. Been writing songs for a very long time, but only recently have been able to really have the freedom to put it to my own, composition and really put it out there. So I'm really, really happy with how things have progressed and the opportunities Hattiesburg has given me to show people kind of what's in my mind and what's on my heart and put it out there in the form of music.
Yeah. So you're primarily a vocalist. That was what you've done the longest.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you have a great voice, and the show at the Keg was really cool. You have a full band, but it doesn't matter how good the band is. Like singer, as a drummer, it hurts. It hurts to say this. Doesn't matter how good the drums are if the vocalist can't carry, and that's a very like a heavy responsibility being the front person. Do you feel that responsibility in the groups that you're in? Because you also kind of have different positions too. Like with Coal Hill, right? You sing alongside, like you're like almost like like it's his group, but like you lead some songs, sing backup vocals on other songs, like. So
yeah,
do you
play
feel
lead
that
tambourine in that band.
Lead tambourine?
Yeah.
Your first chair tambourine?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. But like, do you feel that responsibility with your new group, the New Relics, and then also when you're doing solo gigs? Do you feel like? I just feel like that would be a lot of pressure, being like the voice of whatever that project is.
Well, it absolutely is, but I'll semi disagree about only being as great as your front person, because the rest of the band really holds you up, especially, last night. I get really nervous when it comes to these big projects of mine, and the guys last night did such a great job and, kind of bolstered me and helped me to be the best front person I could be at that point. But yeah, in Cole Hill Band, we co-sing. I sing backup for him a lot of the time, and provide mean tambourine skills. But in Hub City Sound Machine, which was the first band I was invited into, which is Lana Wakeland, Joel Ingram, Anthony Everett, Bill Singer, Cole Hill, of course, and was originally Clark Castle, but now is Zach Blackwell. So that band really gave me a chance to kind of function as a group here, and that I do very high soprano backup vocals as well as some standout tunes. So it is really cool to be kind of across the spectrum with different responsibilities. But to answer your question, yeah, it's really nerve-wracking sometimes trying to put it all together. Like I make this joke that I don't make set lists during my solo sets because I like to keep everyone on their toes, including myself. But this time I had to, really organize, had to talk things through with the band. We had some practices and actually write a set list down. And, it felt really real to be, I don't like to say I'm in charge, but to kind of be a director instead of, I've learned so much from the bands I'm in, and the groups that I've been in have just taught me so much about how to be a great band leader because I've experienced great band leaders like Cole and like Lana. So yeah, it's a fun change of events and it's exciting.
You're taking the responsibility seriously. That's great. Yeah, and also shout out to Joel Ingram. He's technically the third Hardy Street boy.
What's up, Joel?
Not a lot of people know that. So he's
he likes sour beer.
He's a sour beer guy, and he has skinny jeans now.
What?
We seen him. They could be. I mean, I don't want to get too far into it, but they could be skinnier. Okay, but so you're taking the responsibility seriously. What's it like going full time? Now I know you also work with James, and actually Jamie through. Did y'all work at Signature together? Am I wrong there?
We did, yeah.
Okay, so so you've done different things, right? So not just music, but to now focus on music as your main job. What's that like?
Honestly, it's all I've ever wanted. As a kid, exactly what you want to do when you grow up, and then the world kind of gives you all these different, influences like, oh, well, you need to make money, or you need to be successful, or you need something respectable, and sometimes when you get to a point in your life, you'll go back and ask yourself, like, what did I really want to be? And what has been the constant my entire life? And for me, that's music. It's the one thing that I never get sick of, that I'll never grow out of, and I know this for a fact. So it's kind of always been what I wanted. So it feels really great to be on the path to making it, my career goal in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people who do jobs that they aren't passionate about, and it's just it also depends on your circumstances too. But that's really cool that you're able to do that. Going forward now, you're in two groups. You started another one. You gig solo. How do you keep all that straight? That seems like a lot. Do you have management?
Well, I'm my own management, unless you count Doc Ringlaben, who keeps me straight most of the time. But I have about 3 different forms of calendar keeping. I have, a spreadsheet, a Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, and a physical calendar. And if I ever lose the physical one, I lose my mind. So, but I definitely, have to keep everything super organized. And I'm a fairly organized person, organized, chaotic person. So, I definitely have to keep everything on track. Like if you asked me today, what shows I'm playing this weekend, I'd probably have to be like, wait a second. Let me look that up.
Yeah. No, it's a lot to keep track of. Well, but I'm just curious because I know there's such a great. You don't necessarily need management in Hattiesburg, but you need community, right? And there's such a great artist and musician community in Hattiesburg, and there's stuff like kind of on the rise. It's the Be Yellow Collective. So I wanted to what's that all about? That's kind of management, right? That's sort of how does that work? I don't know if enough people know what that is.
Okay, yeah, huge shout out to Lindley Page Walters. So. She is a bartender and creator of Be Yellow, a bartender at Glory Bound, and the creator of Be Yellow movement. So Be Yellow is her brand or label. So basically she has, corralled a lot of us Hattiesburg musicians and some other, nearby cities, and has put them on a roster. And she's basically doing us this huge service of, if someone comes looking for musicians, she can help pair them up. Because a lot of the times musicians have to look for their own venues and make those connections themselves. Also, our community in music is fabulous. We just all look out for each other. So if we can't do something, we've got a buddy on lock that we call and we say, okay, well, this person would be perfect for this. Let me give you this. We gig swap all the time, venue swap. We just, we want each other to succeed in the music community here in Hattiesburg. So she's doing a huge part in that by putting us on this roster, by including our bios and, some of our work and kind of getting us out there, because we can't do it all alone. Being your own manager is tough enough as it is. It's really great to have someone like her to help out. And she does all the booking at Glory Bound. So many fabulous shows there, multiple nights a week. And it's one of the funnest gigs that I've ever done. So she is a huge part of just support for a lot of musicians here. And I'm very honored to be one of her charter members on BLO. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like an official, well, it's just making official what we already know, is that the community is tight-knit and there doesn't seem to be a ton of competition either. Like it's very, I always found it to be like very welcoming, and I do think drummers tend to be a little more competitive with each other. But like entire groups, it does seem like everybody's kind of on the same team.
Well, I'll say that, competition within music is really fruitless because every person's journey in music and every person's, come up and struggles is intrinsically personal. You can't really compare your music or your style or your experience to anyone else's. You can only try to be the best that you can be. And I know that sounds very cliche, but honestly, comparing yourself to other musicians isn't going to get you anywhere. I was once told as a very new musician that you should surround yourself with other musicians that are better than you, and not, for any other reason other than to learn and to gain knowledge and experience from them, and to compete with them really is counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. Collaboration over competition any day.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes that's easier said than done. But if you have that in mind, that's great.
It's kind of interesting. We had Adam McVeigh on a couple weeks ago, and it was very similar. We were just talking about basically not so much a competition, but surround yourselves with people that are like-minded, and like you said, the talent thing. It's good to have the talent, but also, like you said, collaboration. Like, it's good to surround yourself with people that you can enjoy being with and want to make cool music with.
Well, in the musician world too, it doesn't pay to be to have an attitude or to not be kind and courteous to your peers in the music world. Like, it doesn't pay to do that. It's in your benefit to try to be the best collaborator, the best friend and cohort that you can be.
Yeah.
I don't know what word I'm looking for.
No, but that's what Adam said. Even in Nashville, it's about making friends, and everything else will fall into place. You put the competition aside. You work on, and you also focus on your own work. Like, if you're really into what you're doing, all the other stuff doesn't really matter. We got a fly in here. No AC and a fly. We're killing it today. Goodness. So, what's the future for Holley Rumbarger? What are you gonna do with this music career of yours? Do you think you'll stay in Hattiesburg? Do you think you'll expand, or what's it look like?
So I love Hattiesburg a lot, and it's really been huge an opportunity for me, and I don't see myself leaving anytime soon because, especially with the way the music world is now, you can do music from anywhere. You don't have to move to Nashville to do music. You really just have to have more of an online presence. So in the past 3 years of me living here and really focusing in on music, I've spent the first two making connections, trying to get better at my trade, trying to write more music and learn and have experience. Whereas, next year I'm really putting it in my mind that I want that to be the year that I start creating more. So I've written just about enough for an album, and I think that I can confidently say that I'm going to try to put out an EP or LP next year in 2023. So next year we'll be recording, putting things out. So, but the prior 2 years have really been about getting experience, making connections with people, and really just experiencing the Hattiesburg music scene.
So you book studio time and stuff? Do you know how you'll record it, who you'll use?
Actually, that's pretty much all in the air right now. I know for sure that Doc will be a part of it. Doc has been a huge part of my musical career for the past 2 years, and he's not only just a great musician, he's a wonderful friend. And someone who's really looked after me and supported me and sometimes pushed me to do bigger and better things, and I appreciate him. So he will definitely be a part of it, and I've got my collected friends in music world that I can call on at any point. So I think it'll be a giant collaboration at this point between a lot of people that I've worked with.
Yeah. Now you've actually, I know you're talking about for the future in the studio, but you've actually spent a little bit of time in the studio kind of recently. Anything you can talk about on some of these recent trips to the studio recording?
Yeah. So a couple months ago, I think it was maybe February or March, Cole Hill Band went to Birmingham to record at Bates Brothers recording studio in Hueytown. It was just outside of Birmingham. We had a great time. We recorded 4 songs in there, hung out with Eric Bates. He's one of the Bates brothers. Funny story about that, actually. I was sitting in a chair at Bates Brothers recording, and Eric Bates looks at me and says, "Hey, Meatloaf sat in that chair."
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, my butt has been where Meatloaf's butt has been.
Y'all are butt cousins now. That's
Yes.
how it works. Yeah.
I mean, he had just passed away like 2 weeks prior to that, so it was like,
Wow. That's an experience. I know. So what was it like working there?
it was so cool because, you always kind of have a vision of what you think a recording studio is going to be like, and then when you actually get in one, it's like a spaceship. It was just a wall of controls, and it felt very real. It felt like a big step, and it was a lot of fun kind of seeing how the process worked. And that was so cool to have. We had Clark Castle, Cole Hill, and Ethan Mannon in the studio, and we had a great time with that. More recently, I went to James Ducker's studio in Laurel and recorded a cover of an old Nickel Creek song called The Fox. It's kind of an old folk tune. And that was actually one of the other CDs that was in my mom's car. I just remembered. So I recorded that for Laurel Lullaby. And it's an album that Mississippi Nurture is putting out for children. So it's a children's album, which in retrospect, that song's a little weird because in the song, the fox eats the duck and the goose. But I mean, gotta teach them young.
Yeah, it's okay to be a carnivore. It's fine.
Yeah. Right. This is the circle of life, kids.
Yeah.
But no, that was so fun. I had Doc in the studio with me. James Ducker put down the bass when we figured out that it kind of needed some lows to it, and he did a wonderful job mixing. And then we brought in Jack McGee, VIP, to do the fiddle on the tune. So we're so excited for that to release. Unsure of that release date. So,
but keep your ears peeled. Cause yeah, your eyes peeled. Ears peeled? I don't know.
Ears open.
Just pay attention.
Don't peel your eyes.
Don't peel anything. Actually, just use the internet and Google as you're supposed to. Well, that's really cool. So it sounds like you got a lot going on, and I want to find out more about what you have going on. After this, more Holley Rumbarger. All right, we're back in an air-conditioned studio. Kyle's out there on his grind, literally. We're so proud of him.
Yeah.
We're going to play a game. This is called, Hey, do you know your schedule? I'm going to list a date, and then you have to guess where you're playing on that date. You ready?
No.
So many gigs.
But this is just, I really just want to find out about the places that you play at, and we will give you hints. So we're not going to hang out to dry. So let's see. What do you have? June 10th. This is in Hattiesburg.
That's already passed, right?
Yes, that was actually Friday.
Shoot, sorry.
What do you have last Friday?
I don't know, actually.
You played in Jackson Thursday. Remember 3 days ago.
I could not tell you. Anyway.
You were at Patio 44.
Thank you. Okay,
yes.
Dang, I was going to go for like some sort of meat market.
You did. Yeah, you did play at a meat market recently, too. And was it that in Hattiesburg?
No, that was in Laurel. That was at the Night Butcher.
Oh, okay.
That was Saturday. They had a giant inflatable cow costume, dude.
Oh, so the guy's name is Night. It's not that he just cuts meat in the dark.
Right.
Yeah, and he's not like I don't know, was chivalry is not dead, but it's Night, like as in like a knight in shining armor who's going to slice your meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so maybe.
Yeah. Okay. He uses a sword for sure.
Shout out to Chad Knight.
All right, so we've talked about the past. Now time to talk about the future. Where are you going to be June 24th? It's a Friday. and it's
Friday.
from 6 to 9:30 p.m., not a.m. That would be insane.
Wait, that is Prince's.
Prince's
Yeah.
Seafood, yes.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah. So where's Prince's Seafood, and is it purple?
I don't know. It's not. No.
Okay.
So it's on 49. It'll be my first time to play there. Edward Corley with the hookup. That'll be fun. It's in the old Marlins building.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edward Corley at Taste 59 South. We're big
Yeah,
Taste
it's new.
59 South guys. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, June 30th. This is a Thursday,
Thursday.
6 to 9 in the p.m.
Is it patio?
It is Patio 44. Well, how much do you like playing Patio 44? Because they really do hook it up for live musicians. They have live music every night. They're real serious about posting their schedule. What's it like playing there?
I love patio. They have a really beautiful outdoor seating area with this fountain, and it's got pyrotechnics in it. So, and it's real chill. It's great ambiance. Food's great.
All right, now June 23rd. This is a Thursday, 6 to 8:30 p.m., and it may or may not be in Hattiesburg.
That one is Bird Dog in Laurel. Favorite coffee shop in. Well, no, I can't even say favorite coffee shop in Laurel. They're also. I mean, Lee's Coffee is there.
Yeah.
But I don't.
That-
One of
you-
my favorite coffee. One of my favorite coffee shops in Laurel.
You just avoided a major controversy.
I know that coffee wars are a serious deal here.
Let me tell you, I thought it'd be like a haha good fun time. You don't want coffee beef, okay? Because coffee beef, everybody's jacked because they're caffeinated and they feel a very strong way about it. So you got to be careful with coffee beef. To be fair, Tommy has always been super nice to me. It's everyone else that hates me because of Grin.
Right. So
I love Grin though.
Yeah.
I'm an Equinox frequenter. I go there every day, but they serve Grin coffee.
They do.
So
They do, and Taylor's a friend of the show, so
Right,
yeah, he's actually got some really sick tats that I really want to get on board with getting tatted up. But that's not about this. What about June 18th in Hattiesburg?
Oh,
It's a Saturday from 11 to 2.
that'd be Hattiesburgers and Blues.
Yep.
Yes.
St. Nelson. He saved Front Street single-handedly.
I'm killing it.
Yeah, you do know your schedule. That's what we're learning.
Bing bong.
Also, June 18th, that's still a Saturday, in Hattiesburg from 6 to 9. So you're doing double duty. You have 11 to 2 at Hattiesburgers and Blues. Where are you playing that night from 6 to 9?
Brass Hat.
Brass Hat. Yeah, that's where our Matchbox.
Yeah,
I
gonna
think
go
it's
get
up
a
there.
cheese board. It's gonna be great.
Nice. It's a fancy place. Incredible.
Charcuterie.
Well, the thing is, look, and that's what we have you down for, unless we want to talk about the past, but that's not what we're about here at this show. You have a lot of shows coming up. You also, what's the best way for people to keep up with your show's schedule?
So I usually try to post a graphic at the beginning of every month. A little late on that this month, but usually post that to @Holley Rumbarger Music. I'm doing that in case you want to put your pizzazz on it and put Holley Rumbarger Music right here.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely in the description. I don't know if the
Okay.
graphic is there.
Right here.
Our graphic guy is kind of lazy.
Roll down. It's there.
But it's definitely in the description. So that's Instagram. You have
And
Facebook as
Facebook.
well. And so that's the best way to reach you. What if somebody wanted to book you for events? Because you do weddings, you do private events too. What if somebody wanted to book you? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
There is Facebook. You can message me on Facebook, and there is an email on my business Facebook that you can email for potential bookings.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you're really doing it, and we at the show love people sticking their necks out, and then also in the podcast world too. I mean, how did Rough Draft get started? What is that to you?
So I've worked for James Polk for a year. We're kind of like kindred spirits. He plays mandolin, loves folk music and music in general. He's a huge just lover of the arts in general. And when we started working together a year ago, we always used to sit around the office. We'd say, man, there are cool people in Hattiesburg. There's so many cool people in Hattiesburg. It'd be so cool if we could show everyone how cool these people are in Hattiesburg. So we decided to start Rough Draft, and it kind of focuses primarily on people who are developing big things or making big, moves in Hattiesburg. So we've had a lot of really cool guests on our show. We've had, we both had Abby Allen on our shows before, and we had you guys, of course. And then, we had Harry Goff. And our season 2 is going to start in August. We're taking a little break for the summer. But in the meantime, we wanted to do something kind of big to celebrate all the cool people in Hattiesburg. So Rough Draft Hattiesburg is putting on an awards ceremony which is kind of like an anti-award ceremony, to be honest, because there's no categories and really no competition. So it's an open nomination where you can just go in and say, I nominate Gobo Prine for best dog.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he'll win.
Although
too.
that's a tough category. There's a lot of good dogs. 10 out of 10 good floofs. But but no, it's open right now, and it's going to stay open until we've got 2 weeks until the event. So we're putting on an awards ceremony. Tina Timms at Grill and Grocery has been gracious enough to lend us her space on June 29th. We'll do awards from 6 to 8, and then we'll have Jack McGee and the rest of Soundwagon play until 10. So it should be just lots of fun, very low-key, chill. I mean, I say low-key, but we're going to wear, evening wear and give out trophies. So it'll be lots of fun, and we just really wanted an opportunity for people to brag on their friends.
Yeah.
And say, because we want people to say, so-and-so is the best, has the best smile, or there's so many different things. It's really limitless. We've had some nominations roll in that are hilarious.
Yeah, it's probably so massive, Jay. Well, I said on our episode on Rough Draft, I would like us to be the Hardy Street Boys closest to Flight of the Conchords, because if you can make up categories, I want to get oddly specific, but still keep it positive and fun. So that's really cool that people get to do that. I like that counterculture type vibe too. Just like, look, man, everybody gets to any award by definition.
Right.
It's completely made up. So let's just have fun with it and just, enjoy it, and celebrate everybody in Hattiesburg. I like that y'all are doing that. So, and also, if you want to listen to our episode, we were the mystery guests. I got to tell you, it was really hard to keep that a secret because we're so used to like just taking pictures of everything and look what we're doing. It was really hard to keep that under wraps, but I think it was worth it. It was a great reveal. So
yeah, and we had a great conversation. I really loved our episode, and you guys were a wonderful season finale. But you can find that at on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We typically use Buzzsprout as well, but you just look up Rough Draft Hattiesburg, 3 different words. We're on Facebook as at Rough Draft Hattiesburg. So that's how you find us, and you can listen to some of the really amazing conversations we've had with some really cool people in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, so and all those links are in our description below too, so you can check those out. It's cool to have this much stuff going on in Hattiesburg at one time. It's definitely, I think it's not to toot all of our own horns, but let's do it. It's kind of a renaissance in Hattiesburg. It's exciting, and you're definitely a very big part of that. So we thank you for sitting down and taking the time to chat with us.
Yes, thank you for coming.
It was awesome. But now I think you're a musician, so let's. Would you be okay playing a couple tunes for us?
Yeah.
So let's do it. After this, musical guest, Holley Rumbarger.
Okay, so this song is about Japanese pottery, in a sense. So you may or may not have heard of Japanese kintsugi, which is the art of repairing broken ceramic pottery with gold. Technically, it's an epoxy that they put gold flake onto, but it basically creates this really beautiful effect and kind of lends into the idea that maybe some things are more beautiful once they're broken. And I think the same could be said about people.
So just like a cold stone, I carry you in my pocket. Someday we'll all die alone, a lonely face in a lonely locket. If you can help me that seam up, repair the splitting of my side, pour molten gold into my broken teacup, so I can't hide it if I try. took that first cast. You crashed against my glass surface. You turned and ran just as fast when the risk was no longer worth it. But if you can help me to patch that seam up, repair the splitting of my side, pour molten gold into my broken teacup, so I can't hide it if I try. So just like a lone stray, I once was loved and befriended, just to be cast away. When that novelty ended, if you can help me to patch that seam up, repair the splitting of my side, pour molten gold into my broken teacup, so I can't hide it if I try. So if you can help me to patch that seam up, repair the splitting of my side, till the day comes when it's no longer faded, to grasp so firmly to lost time.
We're in the Sweaty Studio. That was amazing. You crushed it. Thanks so much. Link in the description. Follow Holley Rumbarger. She's got shows coming up. She's recording a big deal.